I haven't made one of these videos in quite some time now. And look what's happened. Poo perk after poo perk after poo perk. It needs correction. It needs clown.er from YouTube. I proudly present to you Better Perks 5 with 5 better perks. A mixed bag here today of minors and major perks. Minor perks. One for each member of the team, that's 1 tank, 2 damage, and 2 support perks. Let's start with Orisa for the tank role. An Orisa minor perk called Reflector of Numbani. A perk that is based off of Stadium, if you couldn't tell here. Spear Spin now deflects projectiles for the first second of its duration. That is a very good perk for Orisa in the main game. I think it's going to definitely incentivize people to be a lot more cautious around Orisa's very easy kit. Orisa is a strong character, and so I figured deflect for the entire duration of Spear Spin would only increase her horribleness. Making it for the first second allows you to catch people off guard with it, and also allows it to not be ridiculously broken and last for the entire duration. That is my very simplistic Stadium-inspired change for Orisa's Spear Spin. Now we have a major perk for Tracer here. Pulse Thrusters will increase Pulse Bomb's velocity by 75%. Speed changes is something that no perk in the existence of the game has done yet. Why? It is something that they can so easily tap into, and it's really, really interesting, especially for the single projectiles like Pulse Bomb. 75% increased throw range is going to allow you to just, it's not an underarm throw anymore for Tracer. That is a bowling cricket serve over the shoulder. Blink sticking is very cool with Tracer, but I feel that not even blinking and lobbing it across the battlefield is even more aura, quite frankly. I definitely think changing the speed of projectiles is something that the perks should tap into more. I think it's super interesting and makes for some very intriguing interactions. Quite possibly the most interesting perk on this list here, and maybe, dare I say, the most interesting that I've ever concocted myself. Sombra gets a perk called Cyber Propaganda. A major perk, which, listen carefully here, will allow Hack and EMP to turn hostile entities into ally entities for the hack duration. Sombra hacking people is dumb and annoying. One of the reasons that perks were initially added into the game was to allow characters to have other ways of countering things that typically counter them. This is something I wanted to achieve with this perk here. This perk not only incentivizes Sombra to stop hacking people, that's great, but it also incentivizes Sombra to hack entities which would otherwise be useless to hack / even counter her. Something like Torb Turret, Iari Healing Pylon, a Bob from Ash. All of these with the Cyber Propaganda perk can be turned into her own team's entity for the duration that she hacks it for. Perhaps there are some concerned little chickens in the comment section worried about this perk's power. I'm thinking if it releases and it turns out to be ridiculously strong, all they would need to do, a simple fix, is once you equip this perk, along with it comes a minor nerf to the hack duration for entities. Perhaps 8 seconds to 6 seconds, 4 seconds, who knows. Cyber Propaganda, there it frickin' is. I thought that was a really fun idea. The second and final minor perk on this list belongs to Wuyang of the support role. Newton's Wave allows Guardian Wave to also launch Wuyang himself in the opposite direction that it is used. This is a very similar interaction to Ash's Coach Gun, pushing enemies in front of her away from her, whilst also simultaneously launching herself the fuck out of there. This is a perk that could hinder you in some situations depending on how you decide to use Guardian Wave. But I feel if you are the kind of player that will use this as a defensive tool for yourself, this is a very good change for the perk. The knockback provided by Guardian Wave is sometimes not enough space created between you and the enemy. And so I figured this perk would allow space to be created initially from the knockback and also launching yourself away just like Ash's Coach Gun. A simplistic but interesting change for Wuyang's Guardian Wave. And the final perk on this list for Zenyatta of the support role. Orb of Prosperity is a major perk. Orb of Harmony applies an aura around the targeted ally, allowing nearby allies to gain its benefit. This would be a perk that would not in any way nerf the Orb of Harmony. For the person that you apply it to, they receive absolutely 100% the same healing as before. It just means that being close to a person with a targeted Orb of Harmony allows you to extract some of its benefits. Imagine a perk that rewards close proximity gameplay and harmonizing friendship. Imagine that. Only here on the Clown.er channel, folks. I hope you enjoyed these perks. It's been a little bit since the last one. I'm thinking of doing a tier list of all the ones that I've made so far to see and recap, I suppose, on the old ones and the new perks that I've made in Overwatch 2. I've been Clown.er. That's 5 better perks. I'll see you in the next one.